So, good morning, 60 gang. It's the big day, May 22nd, 2025. It's kind of dark in there. And this is the day that I am going to court to defend myself against charges of disorderly conduct against the post office in the Loganville, Georgia branch. What had happened is, I had a package delivered to me. Can y'all guys see me? Hey, let me see. I had a package delivered to me that was left on the porch by the post office. Said package was delivered to me in error. And so I contacted the sender to let him know why am I in the dark. Okay. He sent me the package in error, which means it shouldn't have came to me. Me trying to do the right thing as a good Samaritan, I let the sender know that if he liked that I can return the package back to the post office and send it back to him. So he gave me a QR code. He texted me the QR code to return the package back to the post office. Now, this package was left out on my porch by the Postal Service. That means they dropped this package off. This package was then taken back. I took it back to the post office. Stood in line. Waited my damn turn. And it was a long line, right? So here is said package. That's the package that was on my porch. So keep in mind, it didn't belong to me. So I'm trying to do the right thing by returning the package to the sender, person who sent it. Return to sender. Basically, that's all I was doing. So I get there to the post office, and the line was long. I got in line. I said, here we go. It's going to be a long wait. Let me do the right thing, get in line. As I stood in line, I become very observant as to normally what everybody else would do. Why is the line so long, first of all? And I became very observant. And with the first thing I noticed, it was only one associate, postal worker associate at the counter. It was two counters, one on the left, one on the right. The one on the left had an associate, so I saw the associate. Then I began to observe the line. I started counting how many people in front of me and so forth and so on. Then I realized I was going to be there. I was like the 8th or 9th person in line. And then I began to notice, the associate on the left. She had a black guy at her counter, and he was repackaging his items into 2 United States Postal Service boxes with packet tape. So he was repackaging his items that he had brought in to have mailed to a destination. I didn't pay it no mind. I thought maybe he did something wrong, so I blew that one off. There was a lady at the other associate's line. She was not there, but the lady, it was a white lady standing there for some reason, and I began to realize, oh, she must be waiting on the other associate who went in the back to inquire. She was standing there patiently waiting and waiting and waiting. While this was going on, I began to observe people in line begin to leave. One guy, he looked and he realized this is going to take a long time. He left. Then another guy, he was observing what he must have saw more than I saw. He got out of line and left. Okay, so the black guy that was at the associate's line on the left, he finished packaging up, and she took care of him, and he smiled and he left, so forth and so on. Then the next person came up. He had letters. So the letters took a while. And then by that time, when he got his letters taken care of, the associate to the right came back around, and she began to address the white woman who was in... Why is it so dark? She began to address the white woman as to what was going on with what we turned out was a package. The white woman began to tell her that she wanted to know how her package that she sent to her son ended up in another package at the time her son received it. She went on then to say that she sent her son a watch, right? She sent him a watch, right? She sent him a watch for his birthday, and her son received the watch without the same packaging that she shipped it with. And they gave her this old story about they needed to know what was on the package that was sent. And she said, well, if I would have known that, I wouldn't be here. She said someone took the watch out of the package she sent and sent the watch to her son in another package. And she wanted to know how did that happen, and she became very upset. Now, this next line, the guy has finally got done with his envelopes, and then the next customer came, and she had a small package that she was trying to ship, and for some reason, her tape was out of compliance. The associate on the left told her to go back over to the Postal Service shipping supply wall and purchase some packing tape. So she stepped back away from the counter to go get the tape. She had to purchase some packing tape to put her box in compliance. She retaped her package, and that was okay. Then she left. While that was happening, another person jumped out of line and left. And I was beginning to notice that everybody that was in front of me had a problem with the packages that they had. They was finding something wrong with the package. Another lady had to get packing tape that was in front of me, and another person realized what was going on in front of me, and they left. Now I'm moving up real quick. I think I was about the third person in line. I went from 9 to 3. By this time, the lady that was trying to figure out what happened to her packages for her son's watch, she became very upset, and they kept telling her the same story round and round and round, and she was not buying it. And while she was being told that same story round and round, these people that in front of me going to the left counter, they were starting to get processed, and then next thing you know, I was next in line. And when I was motioned to come to the counter, I went to the counter on the left. I said, ma'am, I'm returning this package to sender. It was left on my porch. And I contacted the sender and let them know that I was doing the right thing and sending it back to the post office to go back to him, since they packaged it and the post office delivered it. Well, she looked at the package, began to scan it, put the scanner down, and told me that the box is not in compliance, that I got to buy a new box and repackage the items to be shipped back to the sender. And I said, well, this is the same box that you guys dropped off at my house on my porch. It was in compliance then. Why is it not in compliance now? It's the same box. And then she gave me some old runaround story. I said, ma'am, I'm not taking this box and purchasing another box for somebody else. This is return to sender. That means that the box that I'm returning, and it's the same box y'all dropped off in my yard. And then the other lady in the other counter, she began to get all in our business, and then it just exploded. I was standing on my ground, and I was telling them I'm not returning, I'm not repackaging this box, I'm returning to sender. If you guys don't want to ship it, it's on y'all, and I left. Well, they charged, they called the police after I left, and wrote up a disorderly conduct charge on me. And so now here I am, headed to court. And I'm going to plead not guilty. I'm going to stand on my ground, and I'm going to go in there and tell them the same story. The box never got back to me, as the police said they was going to return the box to me. They never returned the box to me, and the box is missing, and I don't know what is going on. The box is missing. Never got back to me. So That's why I'm here. I'm a little bit early because I like to be on time to size things up. And I am at the Loganville Police Department. That's where I'm at. The West Walton County Government Center. 4160 Logan Drive. I am at 605 Tom Brewer Road. That's where I'm at. I'm a little early because I like being early so I can, get my attitude right, think about the things I'm going to say to the judge. I'm going to plead not guilty. Then I'm going to let the judge know what my observations was. Okay, so I'm at the right place. Let them know what my observations were. Tell them that I did not package the unit, that it was a simple return to sender, and I don't see why I have to take somebody's property out of the box. They shipped it in, put it in a new box, and package it for someone else out of my pocket. Make it make sense. This box was shipped to me. It was left in my porch, and I simply took the same box back. That's the counter at the post office. That's where they left it, and that's the last time I seen it. And I left it there. I said I refused to repackage a package that I didn't send. I wasn't responsible for sending it, so I refused, and I left it there because it was their responsibility to ship it. Because if it was sent to me in compliance, the same box, it should be still in compliance going back. So I don't know what changed with that box from the time they dropped it off to the time I brought it back. I didn't do nothing. I'm trying to be a good Samaritan by bringing the box back to the post office and ship it back to the sender so he can take care of the problem, because the package was, if you guys think I'm wrong for that, let me know in the comment line. But like, it might have froze. Let me say that again. I'm pleading not guilty for disorderly conduct because I feel they were wrong in telling me that I must take the contents out of someone else's package that was shipped to me, put it in another box, which is probably a postal service box, at the location. They was trying to shake me down to buy a box, to put their contents in another box, buy some packing tape, tape up someone else's contents, and ship it back to them out of my pocket. That was not going to happen. The box was shipped to me by the postal service. It was sat on my porch. It was in compliance when they sat it on my porch. It should be still in compliance coming back to the post office. I didn't do nothing to the box integrity. I did nothing but confirm that the box is not meant for me. The box was then determined by the sender that it was shipped to me in error. It had my name and stuff on it, and that's it. And so he gave me a QR code to return the sender, and I took the same box that the postal service dropped off in my yard back to the postal service, and yet I'm being charged with disorderly conduct. Make it make sense. But that's why I'm up here. I'm a little early. I like being early, but I want to discuss it with 60 Gang, see what y'all think about it. It's some corruption going on. Like I said, I never found out because she had an argument going on with why her box was taken out and her son's watch was received without the package, and she put it in primarily. That was going on at the same time. Then I popped off. So you had two arguments going on at that counter. Both of us was upset. Now, how can we both be upset? It's got to be a common denominator. The post office. They were shaking us down. They are not only shaking us down, they're going through our personal inventory, our personal contents. When we ship stuff, that post office is going through our personal shipping items, going through them. That's what happened to her watch. I bet you it probably had some cash with the watch, because she was shipping the watch to her son for his birthday. So she might have stashed some cash in the box, the original packaging that she shipped in there, and he only received the watch. That's what she said. He got the watch without my packaging, and I want to know, how did the watch get out of her packaging? That's what she couldn't get explained to her. And then here I am trying to get told that I got to repackage somebody else's box to return to sender. It don't make no damn sense. So I stood on ground. And then they were yelling at me, talking about lower my voice. I said, you lower your voice. I said, I'm not taking this box back. And I left. I took a picture of it, and I left it. And then an hour later, the city of Loganville pulled up. They pulled up, called me outside, talking about post office filed a disorderly conduct complaint on me. It says disorderly conduct. And the thing about it, it says that I don't have to appear in court. It's just that Georgia Code 22-49, disorderly conduct, I'm in violation of it. The violation level is I don't have to appear in court. They just want some money out of me. They want me to pay this disorderly conduct fine and go about my business, but I'm not, because I'm going to stand on business. However it goes, guilty and not guilty. I feel like what's wrong is wrong. I feel like I should not have to package someone else's package to put it back in compliance, to ship back to somebody who shipped to me in error. It don't make any damn sense. We don't want to arrest you. We're just going to order to send you a citation. And I'll let you do anything you want. I'm going to file a complaint against the postal service here in Loganville, Georgia. And then I contacted. Another thing you do, ladies and gentlemen, another thing you do when you have a problem with a company, the first thing you do is you go on X or Twitter, and you address whoever the people are. In my case, I addressed the United States Postal Service. That goes to Washington, D.C., the Postal Service. I put the address in. I sent the picture of the box, and I put the complaint, and I told them they got to be investigated. Because not only were they shaking us down to buy their packaging, which I think that's what they were doing. They was finding reasons to tell us why our packaging were not compliant. They was trying to make sales on the shipping material. They was trying to sell shipping material. That's what they was trying to do. So they'll tell you anything. They'll say what's wrong with your packaging to force you to go over against the wall to get a box, packing tape, or whatever they feel you need to make that material in compliance with them shipping it to where it needs to go. And that's called a shakedown. That's called a shakedown. Some people went with it, but when I was looking at what was going, by the time I was next in line, I figured out what was going on. I said, there's no way they can have me repackage somebody else's package that they dropped off. And I stood on it. And so now here I am, getting ready to go in here and plead not guilty. Because I feel like the post office was wrong, and I do believe they are corrupt, because sometimes my mail have tears in it, like they go and check the contents of, they be going and checking contents of my envelopes that come in my mailbox. Sometimes I get my mail out, it be cut, like somebody looked in there to see if there was checks or something in there or cash, and then they kind of reseal it, and you can tell that it's been opened, tampered with. And then one time, this past Christmas, right? What my neighbors and I also do is that Christmas, during the Christmas week, like close to the Christmas, like 2-3 days before Christmas, I personally address my neighbors with Christmas cards. Okay, so I put the name of the people, and I put the name of my neighbors on the Christmas card on the outside. And then I was attaching Christmas candy to it. And then I would personally put that card in the designated mailbox. So I was giving my neighbors a Christmas card with candy. And I went to 6 boxes. Just my block. Everybody in my neighborhood, I always give them Christmas cards and Christmas candy. And I put that candy in the mailboxes with their names on the cards, with the candy taped to the envelope, put it in the mailbox. And then after New Year's, we outside, and I just so happened to see a couple of my neighbors, and I just asked them, I was like, oh, by the way, did you get my Christmas card? Huh? None of them got it. Out of 6 mailbox, none of them got the Christmas gift. They didn't get the candy, they didn't get the card. Which means only one person would have known that those Christmas cards and candy were in the box, and that's the postal service worker. He went through all those boxes and stole all those Christmas cards and stole all that candy. Make it make sense. This postal service at Loganville needs to be investigated for corruption. If to shake us down, they shaking us down for mail packaging issues, trying to make sales on their packaging, telling us our packages are not in compliance. It's just wrong. And I've been in this neighborhood, I've been in this town for 22 years. And I have never seen such a government service, so run down and so corrupt as the United States Postal Service. And just yesterday, I ordered a part for a customer's refrigerator. The sender sent the part through United States Postal Service. They shipped the part through the Postal Service. The Postal Service sent the part to Atlanta, where I'm at. And then it went from Atlanta. Y'all won't believe this. The Postal Service is absolutely incompetent. Let me show y'all what they did. This is what the Postal Service did. All right, where is it at? I just got refunded. Okay, it was a heater. It was a heater, right? For a Samsung refrigerator. Okay. See, it was a heater for a Samsung refrigerator. And if you look, it says I got refunded. Now, when I put the tracking number in at the United States Postal Service, USPS tracking, put the tracking number in, track. It went from Holland, Michigan, then it went to Atlanta, then it left Atlanta, went somewhere outside of Georgia, and that was the end of it. It made it all the way to the Atlanta, Georgia, United States Postal Distribution Center and disappeared. It went on to be somewhere else. Then they stopped telling you where it's at, like what city it's at. It stopped telling me that. And then I contacted eBay and let them know to tell the seller that I still haven't received my order. And then they refunded me the money. You got a refund. See, you got a refund. You see that? It was refunded to me. History. It says, I do believe the United States Postal Service has lost this item. Please rectify the issue or refund payment. And I hold the United States Postal Service accountable. And they gave me a refund. That is sad. That is so sad. So yeah, not this one. Details. They won't give me the. Okay. So yeah, that's what happened. Order number 2513030-58089 got lost. Yep, it got lost. And this is by the Postal Service. So guys, if I were you, I would not trust the Postal Service to handle any of my items to be shipped. Not only would they try to shake, maybe I'm wrong about certain other branches, but this branch in Loganville, Georgia, I would not take my packages to be shipped. I'd just go to UPS or FedEx. I would stay as far away from the Postal Service as possible, because this package that was shipped to me got lost. It got lost before it even got to this post office. So that means the whole post office, United States Postal Service, is incompetent. I would not even deal with them no more. I would go FedEx or UPS to make sure my packages are getting where they're going. But in this case, I think they got so desperate for money that they was trying to find other sources of income, that they was forcing us citizens or patrons of that Postal Service branch. They was forcing us to buy packaging in order to raise income for their branch. And that's just sad for the Postal Service to have to go through that. It really is. And so here we are, getting ready to go in here, and I'm going to tell, if the judge will hear me out, I'm going to tell him exactly what's going on. And I'm probably not the only person. There's no way I can be the only person complaining. There's got to be more people, especially the lady that had her son's watch repackaged. And I do believe is what happened is they took whatever, she probably sent him some money, and they opened it up, sent him the watch, kept the money, because she wasn't accepted any kind of excuse as where her packaging, where's her original packaging. And the other black guy, he had to buy boxes and tape, so he was being forced to repackage his package. And it was just a shakedown. They were shaking us down, man. And then when they got to me, it just made no sense for me to be shaken down to buy packaging for someone else's product, someone else's item. You want me to go in someone else's box that they ship to me, remove their items, and buy a box and put someone else's item in that box, and buy some packing tape, tape it up, and reship it to that sender without compensation? They wanted me to come out of pocket. It made no damn sense at all. So I am not gonna let that happen. For win, lose, or draw, I'm going in here and I'm gonna say my piece. If I lose, if I got a fine for losing a disorderly conduct, then I'm going to pay it, but I'm going to be heard. Point blank simple. Point blank period. I'm going to be heard. And I'm going to ask the judge that I request they investigate the United States Postal Service in Loganville, Georgia for corruption. And I'm probably not the only. There's no way I can be the only one that has Postal Service complaints. I just can't believe I'm the only one. I have not seen Postal Service this so badly run ever. And I've been in this town for 22 years, and that Postal Service has just gone down. Used to go in the Postal Service, go in and come right back out. Now you go to the Postal Service, you in the line all the way out the door. They move slow. They talk too much. Half of the associates are behind the wall running their mouth, two people running the two lines with 30, 40 people outside, and nobody's trying to do anything about making it convenience for the patrons of that branch to get in and out of there. They could care less. And some of them are senior citizens and standing there with bad backs, bad ankles, bad feet, and they have to stand in line and then be manipulated into buying shipping material because they'll find some way to make their packaging out of compliance, to force them into buying packing tape, boxes, or whatever it is on that shelf they're trying to sell. And that's just wrong. This is your boy Doug, 60 Gang. If y'all have any comments, please hit the comment line. Make sure you like and share to my channel. Thank you all for getting up. Oh, by the way, good morning. Happy birthday, and my condolences to those who did not wake up today, May 22nd, 2025. And this is Doug. So my plea was not guilty, and I have agreed to a bench trial, not a jury trial. So that was my arraignment. So I have to report back here Thursday, July 24th at 9:30 for a bench trial. And I'm going to fight it. I'm just going to stand on my ground. Win, lose, or draw. You always stand on your ground. If you feel like you have been wrong, you stand on it. You're going to find out. All right. We're out. I pleaded not guilty.
Huh?
I pleaded not guilty.
So they showed?
No, they did not show, but I still have to appear in front of a judge on July 24th at 9:30 and plead my case. That's when they got to show. If they don't show on July 24th, it's thrown out. Today I was arraigned. I could have paid and walked out, but I want to stand on
And how much is it?
it. They didn't. There's no fine given. It's just my plea today. Am I pleading guilty, not guilty, no low, or do I wish to have a jury trial or a bench trial? That's all it was. So I pleaded not guilty, and I want to talk to a judge on July 24th. At 9:30, same courthouse. They're so disorganized. They got 3 different functions going on in the same room. We can barely hear the what's that person that runs the court? That be telling you to stand, to be seated. You can barely hear him. He has something in his throat. They had some other office in the same room where people was coming to pay their bills, and then you had people. It was just noise. You couldn't hear shit. It's disorganized. They had 3 different operations going on in one room. Need to be in 3 different rooms because you could barely hear. Then they're gonna tell you to be quiet. Phones ringing, and it's just a mess.
I thought you had to turn the phones off when y'all get in there.
Yeah, but even their phones was ringing. It's just a mess. So we're going back on the 24th. If they don't show, it's thrown out. But I guess they're gonna get notified.
I'm going. Let me look at July 20. Hold on. Let me look at
At 9:30.
24. Because I'm going to take off that day. I'm going with you this day. Okay. Go ahead. I got to make sure I'm clear, right?
All right. So yeah, they got to show up. They got to be notified, and then they got to show up for the bench talk in front of the judge. They probably thought I was just going to pay a little fine and go away. But not me, buddy. I'm standing on it. If I was wrong, I would not say, I would not plead not guilty. I feel like I was wronged. So, that being said, let's get it on, baby. 60 game versus the United States Postal Service. Be there July 24th, 2025 at the Loganville City Municipal Courts in Loganville, Georgia, off Tom Road.